Reddell grows roses. He grows garden roses here in Petaluma, California, at a place called Garden Valley Ranch. How long have you been here, Ray?
16 years.
And you've grown so much in the last few years.
We've about doubled since the last time you were here. I think at that time there were 4,000 roses. Now there are 8,000 in the 3 fields.
It is amazing. And how many different varieties?
About 42 that we grow commercially.
And why garden roses as opposed to other kinds of roses?
In large part because of their fragrance and the size that the mature heads become.
I'd love to see the whole operation.
Come with me, I'll show you all of it.
So this is your major cutting
This
field?
is the primary growing field, yeah. There are about 4,500 rose bushes in this area, and then the balance of the 8,000 are in the 2 areas on the other side of the carriage house.
And from all of these rose bushes, you get those cutting roses that we find in the marketplace?
That's correct, yeah, from these very bushes.
This is where they end up, huh?
We cut them out in the field dry, put them in these baskets. They're brought in and sorted on this table, basically according to stem length. And they're graded the same way they are in rose shows. Top of the line is blue dot, red is middle of the line, and yellow is the shorter stems. This happens to be my favorite rose, the first one I picked up.
It is? Oh, what's that?
Color Magic.
Now, why is that, out of all these amazing roses, your favorite?
Well, for one thing, it's its fragrance. I think I can distinguish it blindfolded.
Let me smell this.
Also, it goes through an amazing color transformation as it ages. It lasts very well in the vase.
Here's one that's more open. Can we see that one?
It is more open, yes. This gives you an idea of what happens when it reaches full maturity.
That is extraordinary.
And this would be a blue dot length.
So blue is the longest?
The length, yes.
Yeah, and this is a healthy rose. You just don't see roses like that in many places.
No, you don't. Only in gardens.
Yes, that is fantastic. Well, why don't you tell us the different kinds of roses and their qualities, because I think everybody would love to know.
All right, this is a rose that is very popular for us. It's called Just Joy. I call it the something for everyone rose because it seems to be a color that everyone likes, regardless of what they believe their favorite color is going to be. This rose, which looks like it's never going to open, is actually going to open. It's named Graham Thomas after the most famous rosarian.
These, yes.
Yeah. When I first saw them cut this rose this tight, I said, this isn't going to work. This won't open in a vase. But we found out from shipping them that they do, and they can be cut this tight. The one over here on the corner is Purple Tiger, and that's sort of a sensational rose because of the unusual color combination.
Well, from the darkest burgundy.
And that happens to be one that doesn't like to grow with particularly long stems, so we never expect to see blue dot of this, but we grade also by quality. And that is Saratoga, which is an All-America winner from some time ago and still a very popular rose for us.
Ray Reddell is the author of several really good books about roses, and this one, The Rose Bible, for which I wrote the foreword.
And I thank you for that.
About 4 years ago, is a book that I use as a reference work all the time, and I just think it's great. And you said you were working on 2 new ones.
I am, with Chronicle Books now in San Francisco.
What are they?
One on All-America roses and one on miniature roses.
Well, miniatures are so popular now,
and
too.
Increasing in popularity.
Are you selling miniatures also for
We
cut?
are, yes.
Yeah.
Now we're going to go over here where they're recut underwater.
Oh, great.
This is the most important stage of all in the processing of garden roses. What they are doing is recutting stems underwater. They take each rose, submerge it in a pot of water, and recut 1/4 inch of stem off while it's underwater. And that process serves as a temporary sealant, so no air bubble forms in the stem that travels up and would cause it to knot over prematurely.
What other hints can you give us for cut flowers like this, cut roses?
The most important of all is to use bleach. We're using bleach in these pots of water where the roses are being cut.
Liquid Clorox?
A few drops of household bleach. It kills any unwanted bacteria that's lying around, and then if you really want to gild the lily, you can add about a teaspoon of sugar per quart of water.
But don't you always want to gild the lily?
Of course, you want to keep them around as long as possible.
Right. Now, after you have cut the roses in the bleach, then they seem to be tied up in bunches of what?
10. 10 is much easier to keep track of arithmetically, and we wanted to break the tradition of the classic dozen roses.
I like the dozen roses. I like 13 roses better.
10 are easier to keep track of.
Okay. And then you're tied on the bottom with reinforced string. It seems to be pretty sturdy.
Right, there's a wire inside that holds them in place.
And then just the floral tape on top?
The floral tape on top.
So it's very gentle. Well, if you're lucky enough to get a bunch of roses with this special tag on it called Garden Valley Ranch, you know you've gotten the best roses grown in the United States from Petaluma, California, from Ray Reddell. Ray, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
What a beautiful business you have.
Thank you.
Don't forget, there's lots more information about our show on our website,